With 1 in 2 marriages ending in divorce, many people are asking, is marriage a broken institution? Is it worth all the dramas? Should I really commit? And how comes what I see in the movies doesn't seem to be what happens in real life? Well, today on DKW, I'm joined by a wonderful lady of wonderful brides and wives today who'll be exposing what actually does happen after you do say I do. And we're going to be answering the question, why did I get married? Stay tuned.
This one's for the girls. This one's for all the girls. This one's for the girls who love without holding back, who dream with everything they had all around the world. Yeah. This one's for the girls. This one's for all the girls. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to DKW and I'm your host Shireen, and today, that's right, we're going to be exposing why did we get married with this beautiful panel of lovely ladies next to me, which I'm going to be interviewing shortly. So, why do people get married in general? Is it because of immigration problems? Is it because they don't want to be alone? Is it because they feel that it will complete them? People get married for all types of reasons, but my question, ladies, is why did you get married? So let's see, who's going to go first? Kim?
I'll go first. Well, I've been married for 17 years.
Wow.
And the reason why I'm on the panel is because I'm the bride who got married young and had my husband as an accessory.
An accessory?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to expose more about that later on, right? Her husband was an accessory. Who's next?
Well, I've been married for 13 years and I am the married bride that got it right after getting it wrong so many times.
I love it. All right then. Who else do we have on the panel with us?
My name is Mary Jo, sorry, MJ is what my friends call me. And I've been married the longest here in the panel because
vintage bride.
I'm the vintage bride because in October I'm going to be 20 years.
Wow, lovely.
Completely faithful?
Yeah.
Oh, just checking.
Otherwise there wouldn't be 20 years.
Oh, okay then. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
And why are you sitting on this panel?
I'm sitting on this panel because exactly because I'm the vintage bride, and there is a lot of things in 20 years that you have to adapt in marriage. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm married and everything is fine for the rest of my life that they show in the movies. No,
we don't want to hear that, MJ. We don't want to hear that.
No. There is a lot of things going on.
Who's next? Who else is on the panel today?
Hi, my name is Diane. And I've been married 3 years, and I brought my past. I brought my past into my marriage.
You brought your past baggage into your current marriage?
I did, yeah.
Okay, we're going to hear about that shortly. Who else do we have?
Well, my name is Verena, and I've been married for 11 months.
Oh, she's a baby.
Oh,
nearly.
She's just a baby.
And I'm the mature bride here.
Oh, sorry, she's the mature bride, yes.
Excuse me.
So you've got a lot of experience that you'd like to share with us today.
Yes.
Loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it. Who else?
My name is Christina. I've been married for 5 years now, and I'm the bride who had to learn to communicate.
Always helps, isn't it?
It would help.
And we've got one more, isn't it?
Hi everyone, I'm Mel. I've been married for about 1 year and 4 months, and I am the independent bride, which I'll be telling you about later on.
Oh, independent, I'm liking it. Okay, so before we get into your stories, which I'm very interested in hearing, and I'm sure the viewers outside are too, we want to hear from you as well. Why did you get married? What do you think marriage is all about? Why do you think it doesn't work for some people? Why do you think it does? Give us a call live in the studio, 0207 686 6300, and share your comments with us. Maybe you will disagree with some of us, which we always love, or maybe you will agree. But whatever it is, give us your view. But first, we've got to do what we always do on this show, our red and green card game. So ladies, get it ready, your red and green cards. Let me explain to you. I'm going to be giving 10 different scenarios to this married panel. I would like to put a disclaimer first, that these women all claim to be happily married and they love their husbands very much. But they will be exposing some of the nitty-gritty things that do happen inside their marriage for the benefit of the viewers. Is that okay, ladies? Yes. Sounds good to you?
We're ready.
Fab. Ready? All right. If you'd like to play at home, it's very easy. You can get yourself a green piece of paper and a red piece of paper. Basically, the green card stands for true. When I ask you a scenario, you're going to decide that it's either true, or you can go for your red card, which means it's false. And you can't just put up true or false, you need to tell me why. Okay? So are you guys ready? Yes. All right, scenario number one. There's a fact that's, well, this is what some people say. Let's see what you guys think. Marriage will solve all your problems. True or false? Oh my goodness, it's completely unanimous in the studio with red cards. False, false, false. Who wants to tell me why? I don't get it. Tell me.
Well, I don't think anyone should go into marriage as a problem solver, because it's not. That would be you having a very naive view of what marriage is all about.
Ooh. So you're saying it's possible. What about that person that will say, my problem is loneliness, so if I get married, it solves my problem?
Well, no, because there are people who are married and still very lonely.
Yes. Oh. Anybody like to elaborate on the reason that they put up their red card?
Well, I think like this, if you have problems and you go into marriage trying to solve your problems, marriage itself already brings problems. So if you don't sort your problems first and you don't sort yourself first, your life will become a big mess of problems.
Do you know, this is really, really good, because actually there are many, many people, and I did this before, who do get into marriage thinking that's it, because you know, it's like the main goal, the main aim of my life is to get married, so it's going to solve all my problems. It doesn't matter, you know, some women, they go into it saying, oh, it doesn't matter if I've got debts now, when I get married, I'll sort those debts out with my husband. It doesn't matter if I've got issues now, when I get married, you know, do you often hear that, oh, when I get married, I will solve this, that and the other, and it ain't like that. In actual fact, what happens? You bring the debt into your marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, I think ideally you should go into marriage knowing how to solve problems already, because there are so many problems that you have to solve, new ones that you've never experienced even as a single person. But if you don't have that experience of solving problems and you're waiting for something to come along so that you can feel that your problems will be solved, then you won't be able to solve problems. Everything will sort of come on top of you, and you'll find yourself in a worse situation.
Yeah. Do you know, and that's quite good, because that's probably why many marriages do end in divorce. If people have that kind of attitude that if I do get married, then all my problems are solved. So I completely agree with you with this one, ladies.
Yeah,
false.
I agree, definitely.
All right, let's go to our next scenario, which is a video. Watch this.
James, that's wrong.
I think it's wrong, Desiree.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You didn't see yourself. How was your day? What's wrong? Was anything upset you?
The day was good.
What's wrong?
I said nothing's wrong, Desiree.
I can see something is wrong, James. You're lying to me. What's bothering you?
Look,
what's on your mind?
I just want to watch the football. Just chill out. Chill out. And you think it's funny?
Don't be rude.
What do you mean don't be rude?
I'm asking you what's wrong and you're trying to be rude.
I'm not being rude. I just want to just chill out.
Okay. Something's on your mind, James. That means you're hiding something.
What's on your mind?
What happened at work?
Nothing. What's on your mind? How's your day?
I don't want to talk now.
So, what? I want to watch football.
Why do you have to make it a problem?
I want to talk. You don't want to talk.
Why are you making it a problem? I asked you what was wrong. All you had to say.
Extra. You're just extra. That's the thing with you, Desiree. You've always got something to say. You're always ringing in my ear. You can't just relax. You can't just chill. I've been married with you. It's painful. It's painful being with you, Desiree.
How could you say that? So horrible. Get off me. Don't touch me.
No. I didn't mean that. Desiree.
No, how could you say the relationship's painful?
hey.
No, don't touch me. Get away from me, James.
I'm sorry, Desiree. I didn't mean that. Desiree, forgive me. I'm just stressed at work right now, you know?
Well, you could have said that before.
I'm sorry. I'm taking out it on you, and I shouldn't be doing that. Look, Desiree, look, Des. I know you're just trying to be nice, and I'm sorry.
Oh, right. So I want to know from you ladies, does the husband often say sorry after there's an argument? True or false? Red card or green card? Give me some of them thinking.
Yeah, maybe we should do it like this.
Well, each one knows their
Tell
own.
me, Sam, why is it that you're saying false?
I'm saying false because not all the time you're going to get a sorry. And look, sorry can be shown in different ways. It doesn't have to be verbally sorry. You know, it can be touch. It can be expressed in different ways because we have different emotions. So I don't think you're always going to expect if that person doesn't say sorry, that's it. Different people are different men, they're all different, you know, and they've got different ways of expressing themselves. I remember Mary Jo saying on one of her shows that your husband doesn't always say sorry, does he, MJ?
I think in 20 years of marriage, almost 20 years, sorry, I don't remember.
She doesn't remember. and my husband will be probably the opposite.
Yeah, and probably people think, oh my God, he must be a rude man. No, it's just the way he is.
Yeah.
But as you said, he will ask sorry in different ways. He will show to me that he's sorry in different
Maybe
ways.
he'll cook a meal. That could be saying sorry.
That would be very
Maybe he'll
good as
come
well.
home earlier than usual. You know, maybe he'll book the restaurant. That could be. You know, there's so many ways a man can show. And a woman, we have to understand that skill of a woman, that we have to see that, okay, you know, sometimes we have to kind of swallow that pride. And even if he doesn't say sorry, swallow that pride. You may be hurting, but this is where we need to exercise that forgiveness, even if he's not saying sorry. You know, and then we can actually express the sorry, which may help him.
You know, what was quite interesting about that clip is the way that she started crying.
Yeah.
And only after she started to cry, that's when the sorry came. And I remember early on in my marriage, I used to do that. I used to do the first few weeks when we got married, every time he'd have an argument, I think he'd be wrong, I would cry and he would quickly come and say sorry. About a month later, I tried doing that and it didn't work. And I couldn't understand. I was just like, okay, he's just not saying sorry. He just started to ignore me, just started to be like, you know, you're crying too much now. It just, you know, that is just not the way it's going to work between us. So that is quite interesting that she started to cry, then there was a sorry. But I think in marriage, really, that doesn't happen.
I think it is, as you said, in the beginning of your marriage, yes, because you are still in that honeymoon period and everything, it's, it just doesn't want to hurt you.
It doesn't want to hurt you, yes.
But after, I'm telling you, those tears, it's better for you to keep them inside or have them by yourself because you will not make a difference to them.
All right, so let's go on to the next one. I think it's pretty unanimous. Anyone disagreed with that point?
Yeah.
Oh, did you, Chris? Well, speak up quickly.
Well, I think the men in general, they are, you know, they don't show their emotion. I had this problem with my husband in the first year, and I'm quite of a sensitive person, you know, and he had to learn that when he does something wrong, he has to apologize. He has to say sorry.
I think that's good.
And now he does that because he knows me.
Is that because you communicate
So
that
I don't
to
accept
him?
the fact that, this is just me. No. You have to change because you have to respect the way I am as well.
I agree with her actually. 'cause
Love it.
My husband apologises now. He didn't before, but because I communicated to him that that's important to me, to hear the word sorry is important to me. And so now he does. It's not everything that he'll just quickly say sorry, because if he feels that he's got a point and that I'm wrong in something, he'll be sure to let me know. However, if he knows he's upset me, then at some point, either it can be straight away, but sometimes it won't be, but at some point he will say sorry.
And sometimes the woman isn't really, you know, picking up on what Sam said. Sometimes, you know, not every woman is the same. Sometimes a woman feels, I want to dig my heels in here because I am right and he's wrong, and he's got to say he's sorry. Do you know what I mean? And you know, some women are willing to just say, okay, he's wrong and I'm right, but I'll say sorry anyway. You know, they really do want to have that sorry, and it doesn't really matter in what form the sorry will come.
As long as it comes.
It could come, like, for example, sometimes my husband would just say, "Would you like a cup of tea?" And that's literally of saying sorry.
Oh, well, this was a little bit controversial. What do you think at home? Give us a call. Do you agree with Chris? Do you agree with MJ? Give us a call on 0207 686 6300. Let's swiftly move on to the next point. Good and healthy marriages are conflict-free. True or false? Red card or green card? Oh, they all say false. All say false. Okay, who have we not heard from? Di, why do you say false?
I think it's healthy to have a bit of conflict in your marriage. You get to know each other that way. We all have different opinions. One's from Mars, one's from Venus, after all, they say, don't they? So, yeah, I think that, you know, we should have that conflict and get to the bottom of, you know, what we would agree with.
Kim, what about you?
The reason why I think conflict is healthy is because with my husband and I, we are completely different. You know, ways we think, the way we do. People who know me know exactly what I'm talking about, not in a bad way. And I kind of like that he is different from me, that he thinks different from me, because he can open my eyes to opinions and ways of looking things that I haven't noticed before. And I don't think I would enjoy it if we just agreed on everything. Now, when I say conflict, I mean healthy conflict, not fighting and unhealthy conflict. I mean, okay, I've got an opinion, and he can say, okay, why don't you look at it this way? And I quite like that, because I think that I've got something to learn from him, and he remains interesting to me. So I think the conflict is healthy.
I think you're so positive as well, because I think there's a lot of ladies that would think that having lots of conflict means that relationship is not healthy, that they don't get along, because especially in their dating time, it's like there didn't seem to be conflicts, and suddenly you're married and now you're always arguing. So people, some wives don't see it like the way you're seeing it, Kim. Even as you were speaking, I was thinking, no, that's true. I never really saw it that way. Some women would think that these conflicts are just not good. There's something wrong. Something's going wrong with the relationship.
The thing is, we have to be careful here, because yes, we conflicts are healthy, yes, but it also depends how you deal with the conflict after. You know, if you're going to have a conflict and you're not going to deal with that conflict, conflicts are always going to come. You know, our marriages are not a bed of roses. Sometimes those beautiful roses have got thorns on that need to be, you know, plucked off
out,
here and there. But if you don't deal with it in a mature way, you know, if you're going to have a conflict and then you're not going to speak for days and days and days,
that's unhealthy.
It becomes unhealthy.
Indeed.
So it's about dealing with the conflict and trying, you know, we have a saying that if you have a conflict, try not to go to bed, you know, with that conflict still in the air. Try to resolve that problem or that disagreement. Come to an agreement before it goes on.
Indeed. All right, then, let's have a look at another video.
James! Okay, so
What's up,
I
Desiree?
have to go soon. As I said, I have a busy day today.
Okay.
I have to go to Mum's to get some things. Then I have to go to the spa to open up my pores to cleanse my beautiful face.
Every week?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I have to go collect some things in the store. Then I have to go see my sister.
Okay.
Then I'm going to be home later.
Do you need money for that?
So, no, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay,
But I'll see you later.
Hey. Make sure, like, when you come back and spend some time with me, okay?
Okay, I
I've
will.
got something nice for you. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, a few of the friends are going to go and watch football. Season started again.
What's tomorrow, James?
Saturday.
We already said that we're busy tomorrow.
I know, but the boys
We
just
said for
called
months
me
ago
up.
that we have to sort out the shed. It's been like that for months, and it's all your things. I can't carry them by myself.
Yeah.
So sorry, you can't go football with them. You're gonna have to call them and tell them you can't do it. We're busy tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. All right, then. We'll spend time literally doing everything together.
Yes.
So I'll make the phone call and cancel it.
All right, would that really happen? Would your other half really cancel his football game so that he could stay in with you and do what you want? True or false, ladies? Oh, Sam says true. Chris says true. I've got Kim and Miss Verena saying no. Okay, all right. One for each team. Who wants to talk for the green card? Sam. Chris.
I'm on my own here.
Why? I think Chris as well.
Okay, good.
Why do you think that's true?
Come, Chris.
Well, at the beginning of my marriage, we had this problem with my husband in regards to, you know, he will go on Sunday, he will spend half day sitting somewhere doing things until we got things straight and we say, no, family time Sunday. Saturday, we have to go out with the kids. So I think you need to prioritize and you need to you know, to see what's priority for you. So my husband finally, after 5 years, he got it.
Chris, we need to speak to you after the show. Who's on the false team? Who's on the false team?
The reason why I said false is because of the scenario. Because the day before, she was doing everything she wanted to do. And so I would have thought it would have been unreasonable to expect your husband to give up all his plans to do what you wanted to do. It came across to me as a little bit selfish. And I think selfishness in a marriage is always going to fall apart. But Chris's scenario is a good one. That's fine. That's a different scenario.
Yes. All right, then, lovely. Let's move on. The next one. Good and healthy marriages come naturally. True or false? False. Melissa, why? Why would you say that?
Because you're two different people. So you know, there's always going to be, you're getting to know each other, you're becoming one. You know, it's not going to naturally flow. Things are not going to naturally flow. You have to work at it. For a marriage to become more natural over the years, it takes work, a lot of hard work initially.
Oh, we've got someone on the phone. Let's see if they agree with you, Melissa. Hello.
Hi.
Hiya, what's your name?
It's Maria.
Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really enjoying the show. I'm really enjoying it. It's,
Fabulous.
It's really good. Actually, I'm just calling to comment to say I'm really like the comment that Kim mentioned about her husband, like difference of opinion, like you know, when just because she you know she has an idea, doesn't mean to say that her husband. You know, if her husband thinks it's, you know, no, okay, what about, let's do it this way, or what do you think if we... I really like that idea. That's really good, because then it shows that he's not just saying, yeah, okay, why not, but he's actually showing a real interest in what she's saying. And to me, that is really important. So I really think that's very important what Kim mentioned. So, yeah, I really agree with that.
Fabulous.
It is very important because otherwise, you know, the men or women tend to kind of like say sorry
just for the sake of it, isn't it? Yeah, just for the sake of it.
Yeah, oh, let me just say sorry and just get out of this, you know? But that's really good because people should have opinions. It's really good. And also, it's Verena said something about the tea thing. Yeah, I did that. I really like that because you know, sometimes people, instead of saying sorry, they'll say, well, how about a cup of tea? Can I like break the ice?
That'll do. Hide behind the tea. All right, thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for your call.
By the way.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stay tuned. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to one last one before we go to the break, ladies. I want to know from you, your spouse, does he complete you? True or false? Your spouse completes you. True or false?
Ooh, this is difficult.
It is difficult.
Your spouse completes you. What do you reckon at home? Sam has already put her green card up. Di, what are you saying? You're on the fence. She's on the fence. Melissa, you're on the fence. There's no time for fences on this show. It's red or green.
What you mean, though.
Doing a Jennifer
You're
today.
doing a Jennifer on the fence. Okay, I want someone who's got a firm opinion and a firm opinion that's happy to talk about it. Verena.
Well, it all depends. You know, I feel I cannot say that my husband completes me because I was already complete when I met him.
Ooh, liking it.
Do you understand? So it's like two complete people together, and we match and we work. So, you know, I'm always against the idea when people say, "Oh, I'm looking for completion in somebody else." You know, it's impossible. You're putting a burden on somebody that they can never ever fulfill.
And what if this person does something that you don't, that's not right, that's wrong? Do you become incomplete now? Are you going to die? Are you going to just commit suicide or do something crazy.
Yeah.
You cannot put that kind of burden on one person.
It's a huge burden.
They what's the word I want to say? They don't. It's not that they complete you. They
Make you a better version.
I think they can make you a better person.
Make a better version of yourself.
I think they can make you a better person.
Sam.
You know, I am not perfect. My husband is not perfect. But we work together to make each other perfect. And that's why I say I'm complete. Because we work together as a team to make each other complete. Because I'm not perfect.
All right.
So that's
all
why I
right.
say we're complete.
Woo! All right, then what do you think at home? Are you team Verena and Kim or are you team Sammy? Give us a call on 0207 686 6300 and we're going to be talking more to these lovely ladies after this break. Welcome back, and this is DKW, and today we're talking to married ladies about what really happens after you say I do. And now I want these lovely ladies to share some pearls of wisdom from their marriage to everyone. I'm going to start with Kim.
Right, in the beginning I did say that when I got married, my husband was like an accessory, and that was because I made my family more. I added my husband to my family, meaning my parents and my sisters, which was a huge mistake, because when you get married, you and your husband are supposed to have your own unit, and it was wrong to have him as part of my own family unit, and it caused one end of problems. Sometimes I would discuss things with my family and forgot I haven't even told my husband, and I would do things and I would make arrangements and just assumed that he would want to be part of it when I hadn't given him a chance to give his own opinion, and it caused endless problems until I realised that this does not work in a marriage. It's the two of us first and everybody else becomes relatives.
Lovely. Sam, what about you? You said everything went right only after everything went wrong.
Yeah, well, obviously, I had my previous relationships were very unsuccessful, and I definitely got it wrong in those relationships. And I believe 100% I've got it right now. But what I have to say is that although I have got it right, my marriage is not a bed of roses. You know, like I was saying earlier, sometimes those beautiful roses, they have thorns on. And even sometimes those thorns can even come from your past. And you can bring them in. And there has been times in my marriage where I've had to really, I mean, in small things, big things, I've had to demonstrate to have forgiveness in my marriage. And there could be small things, there could have been things that I've even created in the marriage, or even things that my husband has created, because sometimes we disagree to agree. But I think with relationships, what I have to pass to the viewers is that I think with every single marriage, whether small things, big things, whether you're choosing to stay together or decide to leave each other, I think there's always going to be a time when, there's always going to be a time when you have to forgive and you have to swallow the pride. And
It's like you might lose that battle, isn't it? But you're going to win the war in the end.
And it doesn't matter how small. It may be that, oh, your husband didn't make the bed or something so small. And you're feeling quite hurt about it. Because there's going to be times when I myself have felt offended or hurt, maybe because of a comment or something that didn't go my way. But it's not the end of the world.
Indeed.
You don't need to break off your marriage. You don't need to create a storm. But what you do need to do, forgive.
Forgive, lovely.
And move on.
And move on. Forgive and move on. MJ, vintage bride, do you agree with Sam? What do you have to give?
I think when you get married, you have to understand that through the years, people change. You will change. Your husband will change. You know, the person I was when I got married, I'm no longer that person, and the same happened with my husband. And sometimes during your marriage, there might be times when your husband, your partner, decides to completely change his way, completely change his direction, the way he decided to live his life when you first got together. So you have to understand that you know, why did you get married? Did you get married because of a lifestyle? Did you get married because of something that was promised to you? Or did you get married to that man and you wanted to make it work with that man and you want to make it work, make your marriage work? That's the important thing. Be faithful to your marriage.
Lovely.
So this is what I have to say.
Ooh, Di, you said you brought in some baggage. What happened?
Yeah, just a little bit like Sam, my previous relationships were all wrong. And my thought factor, you know, how I thought, I brought that into my marriage. My husband was completely the opposite of past relationships, but I looked at him near enough the same way, you know.
Yeah.
The way I used to think and things like that, you know, it was near enough the same way. So for me, at the start, I was struggling because of the way I was thinking. You know, I don't think like that anymore.
That's very important. Sometimes you judge a person by the way you were treated before in a past relationship. You expect him to do something negative because that negative thing was done to you in the past. So you kind of like brand all guys the same.
Completely
and that can
the
affect your
opposite
marriage,
he was,
isn't
you know,
it?
yeah, he's completely the opposite. And, you know, I laugh at myself now, but, you know, it was something that I couldn't, you know, shake off.
Yes.
I couldn't shake that off. So it was affecting me.
Okay, mature bride Verena. What's your pearls of wisdom?
Well, I think for me it's intimacy. It's very important in marriage, and I think a lot of people overlook how important that intimacy is in marriage. I know for young brides, you know, they tend to feel it's something that's not familiar. Obviously, it shouldn't be. And they feel uncomfortable. They might feel uncomfortable about it. But what I would say is it's a very important part of your marriage. And so you should surrender to your husband. Because that kind of cements the relationship. I mean, especially if you have a misunderstanding, it's a great way to make up.
This mature bride is sharing a very
It's a
important
great
point.
way to make up if you've had a misunderstanding. Also, if you want something and your husband said no, you know, it's another way to get him to say yes. So for me, intimacy, it's the diamond
Of it.
in a marriage.
Lovely. Miss Independent Melissa, what do you have to share?
Well, yeah, before I got married, I was a very, very busy person, my business and a lot of things I was doing. So getting married after the wedding and everything and going back to normal life, it was a culture shock for me because then I had this whole other person in my very busy life. And that sounds terrible, but basically it was, you know, because as a wife, I have a lot of responsibilities, and it was like a lot that I had to fit in, to adapt, to change. But what I realised is that obviously it's like what Mary Jo said, you know, why did you get married? And I got married because I wanted to make it work with this person. And when you're committed to something, you will make it work.
Yes.
And you know, if you're going to think negative, or you're going to think about, okay, all of this extra, if you're thinking in a negative way, then you won't find solutions. But if you are dedicated to making something work, then you'll realise that actually I do have time, or actually I can do this, and actually I need to put this aside, my thing aside, and, you know, sacrifice for this person. And actually maybe later on I'll have time to do it, but, you know, you'll be dedicated and you will make it work. It will work.
Yeah. All right, Chris, finally, what do you have to say?
For me, what is important is communication. And why I'm saying that, I agree with my husband that we have part one communication, which means, okay, let's sit down, let's talk about bills, who's gonna do the shopping this week, who's gonna take care of the kids and so on, which is very, very important, and you have to agree on those things. But then it's part two communication, which I like to call get to know your partner world. You know, often we are so busy with our career, with our job, and we tend to forget what our partner needs. So what I did with my husband, we agree 5-10 minutes of the day, talk about just our marriage. Hey, what do you like? What perfume do you like? What movie do you like? You know, sometimes it takes time, but with my husband is after 3 years of marriage, he knew what perfume I actually like, you know? So then we realized, no, we have to invest in our marriage, and that's one thing to do. For us, it works.
Lovely. Oh, thank you very much, ladies. Now, you're probably wondering who's this beautiful bride to be in the studio, and it's our DKW angel, Desireen. She is going to, hello. She's going to be getting married shortly, and we would like to give her a few miniature gifts just to set her on her way to married life. So, ladies, you've got less than 30 seconds to present your gifts and explain to her what they mean. So, Mel, Miss Independent, would you like to go first?
Yes, what I have got for you is some earrings that I made. They're very simple, but they're made out of West African beads.
Thank you.
And the reason why I give them to you is because obviously I'm of Caribbean heritage, and I've married somebody from a different culture, West African. And what I realise is that there are a lot of things that you need to adapt to, and the more the more willing you are to adapt, the more it will benefit you in your marriage. So you need to kind of see what he likes, what kind of food he likes. See that you're, because sometimes the culture is important, or the culture will be important to him because it's part of his upbringing, etc. So you've got to, if you're going to be stubborn and sort of be like, oh no, because I'm not from there, I don't want to da-da-da-da, you're going to make your own marriage difficult. So every time you see those, remember that you have to adapt. And I'm talking from experience because I lived in Africa for 1 year. Yeah, 1 year.
Lovely. Who's up next?
Well, do you want to be?
Yeah, go, Di. Your 30
Hi.
seconds starts now.
Second video scenario is complete and new here. It's a watch. Why have I bought you a watch? I bought you a watch because you need to make time for your husband. In your busy life, sometimes we neglect. We do let's go to, I'm going to pamper myself today. No, tomorrow we've got this to do and we've got that to do, but we're not actually making time for each other. So that's a key ring. So you put it on your keys and you remember every time, have I made time for my husband this week?
Lovely. Thank you,
Right, so now it's me. I have something here that is very common now here in the UK. That is the keep calm and carry on. And I'm going to explain. There are two. One that says keep calm and carry on, and the other one says keep calm and never give up. And it's exactly about what I said before. Keep calm and carry on. There will be moments in your marriage that you will have to be submissive. And I know it's such a horrible word to listen to, but it's very, very, very important. So keep calm, carry on. I don't know if we have time to open other things, so we'll open them. Keep calm and carry on. Think about what's most important in your marriage. That is exactly your marriage. And the other one is keep calm and never give up. Keep fighting until the end. Fight until the end because your marriage is worth it. I know your husband will not complete you, but he will make you happy and special. So fight for that.
Invest it. Lovely. Thank you. Miss Verena, tell us, what's your gift?
Well, I've got you here a book called The Act of Marriage.
Oh, I've read that book and it's spicy. Yeah.
What is that intimacy?
It's called The Act of Marriage and it's all about intimacy. Okay, so everything that you need to know in terms of spicing things up in the bedroom, it's all in there.
No flashing, Desireen.
I know, sorry.
Chris.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna give you just a contract, just a piece of paper, but it's very important because marriage, it's like a business. You sign a contract when you get married, and it's binding, and it needs investment, a lot of investment. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Sam.
And last but not least.
Oh no, before Kim.
Mine may take a little while for me to explain. It's actually a little ornament here, and it actually reads saying the recipe for life, because your marriage is exactly that. It is a recipe for life which you're entering into, and it's got a few things here, just tips to say, keep an open mind, be helpful, be patient, learn from your mistakes. So if you do make mistakes in the marriage, don't hold it, just learn from it. And what else does it say? Be understanding, make time for him, and
So basically a summary of everything that people have said.
I'm going to turn it around for you to see. So that's the recipe for life.
Lovely.
Because your marriage is for life. It's not part-time. It's not something that you're going to take up and put down. It's something that you're having for life.
Yes.
So there you go.
Lovely. All right, Kimmy.
I'm just going to give you my last one. This is mine. I've made you a credit card for a happy marriage. You put one in your purse, and it says to this, the bearer of this card can only withdraw once they have deposited the following, which is selflessness, kindness, patience, forgiveness, thoughtfulness, consideration, generosity, and
Admirable.
And I put at the end, it says, holding your tongue, no matter if everything inside of you is saying, I am right. So once you deposit all this credit, your husband will be putty in your hands.
Okay.
So just walk around with it, remind yourself, and once you deposit lots of credit in that, you'll have a very happy marriage.
You can go
Thank
shopping.
you so much.
Yeah.
I know.
I've got one just to end the programme because we're going to have a second part of this programme, Why Did I Get Married, next week. And I'd like to give this to you, Desiree. This is a Love School DVD. Why am I giving this to you? Because your marriage is your marriage. You can't compare it to others. But there's no harm in you getting advice and from people that know exactly what they're talking about and more. And the Love School DVD is exactly a recording of a live Love School event that we had last year with speakers Renato and Chris, who spoke a lot about how to be happy in your relationship, not just marriage, but in your relationships in general. And there's some fantastic points on there on how you can really invest in your marriage. I think you should have a good look at it before you get married, Desiree.
I will get tonight, actually.
And actually, the Love School is becoming again. September the 22nd to Wembley Arena. DKW will be there hosting as well. It's going to be a fantastic opportunity. You can find out more about it at theloveschoolevent.com. Now, we're coming to the close of our programme, ladies, but you're all coming back next week, isn't it, to share much more, because unfortunately we're running out of time. But what I have gathered from this programme so far, from these wonderful women, is that yes, love and marriage is a fight, but it's worth fighting for. I'm going to tell you more about that next week. So see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.